look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Joe
nuts.
Rogan did not hide his skepticism when the real estate claims of Floyd Mayweather Jr. were mentioned. He essentially paused the discussion and suggested that the numbers simply did not seem
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but when I'll show you, when I'll show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire, that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Rogan challenged the narrative surrounding Mayweather's statements about owning numerous properties valued at tens of millions, emphasizing that bold claims and verifiable financial records are not always the same.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
it's
pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this. He makes so much money. There's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You could sell those.
This is where the discussion becomes particularly interesting because Mayweather's entire Money Mayweather image has long been built on the idea of immense wealth, cash displays, luxury watches, and a business empire that appeared unstoppable. However, various reports from financial and media
that Floyd Mayweather has made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Mayweather's commercial properties reportedly experienced foreclosure proceedings, and there were also claims that his Las Vegas strip club property faced potential seizure because of unpaid property taxes. In addition, lawsuits have alleged unpaid balances related to luxury watches and jewelry, claims that Mayweather has disputed.
They said that, I mean, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment, his private jet fuel. He's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan.
The outlet also disputed, shifting the discussion from lifestyle displays to financial scrutiny. The report further stated that 2 condos at Trump International Hotel Las Vegas were temporarily seized due to unpaid taxes before being restored after payment, and that a large loan reportedly used his homes, private jet, and business holdings as collateral. Whether the result of exaggeration, misunderstanding, or complex finances, the contrast between the money image and these reports has clearly sparked ongoing debate. The skepticism expressed by Joe Rogan regarding the financial empire of Floyd Mayweather Jr. had already introduced uncertainty into the conversation.
What's wrong with that? And why are we attempting to tease Floyd? Is Floyd Mayweather? Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say he can't read? That's not to tease him. They say that he can't read. His best friend at the time said that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing channel, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
He redirects the discussion toward the audience, suggesting that if ordinary people work regularly to earn income, it should not seem unusual for a boxer to continue fighting for financial reasons as well. This approach reflects Sonnen's characteristic style, combining blunt honesty with a touch of provocative commentary. However, his argument continues beyond that point. Sonnen then begins questioning the mythology surrounding boxing paydays, arguing that enormous earnings figures and pay-per-view statistics are often based on promotional announcements rather than independently verified financial data.
He's a gambling addict. He's got baby mamas all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until I'm blue in the face. The numbers that you hear in boxing simply aren't true. Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed the check is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote the check?
At the same time, Sonnen's criticism is not directed solely at Mayweather, but at the broader financial storytelling that often surrounds boxing. He then shifts the focus to contractual complications, explaining that announcing multiple bouts around a potential Tyson event could frustrate promoters, since timing and exclusivity are crucial factors in the fight business.
And I'm only sharing with you, like, the numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And, yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic to Floyd.
While critics simultaneously accused Mayweather's own promotion of similar confusion during the bout with Logan Paul, the situation begins to resemble a cycle of accusations in which each side believes another party is responsible for the controversy. Despite all the criticism surrounding finances, paydays, contracts, and exhibitions, one contradiction remains clear. Whenever Mayweather's name appears on a fight poster,
Floyd Mayweather owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And no, of course he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way, yes.
Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Floyd Mayweather returning is about money, love for the sport, or unfinished legacy business with Manny Pacquiao? Drop your take in the comments. Let's really talk about it. And yo, don't ever forget to like, share, and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters. See you in the next one.